Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. I'm so grateful that you guys are spending so much time with me, commenting, subscribing, and hanging out with me. I really appreciate all of the support. In this video, I want to speak to you guys about death and reincarnation, how in my mind they're completely interconnected, and one of the reasons why I'm not afraid of death as much as I used to be in the past is because of reincarnation, because of my belief system that says that reincarnation is definitely a possibility after death. Now, all of the stuff that I'm talking about in these spirituality awakening videos are my opinions, and all of the stuff that's going on the planet right now, every religion, everything is just an opinion. You know, we don't actually know what happens after death. We can go and read of all the near-death experiences and perhaps get a glimpse into it. But really, if you have never died before and know what happens after death, you don't know really what happens after death. All of these are accounts and glimpses into reality that is perhaps a reality, perhaps just some chemical reactions, but we don't know. And what we have to do as human beings is we just have to form our own associations and belief systems. And so these videos are based on my belief system, based on the stuff that I've learned and read over the last 35 years that I've been alive. And they could and probably are absolutely false, but it gives me solace to have this kind of belief system. And that is what any belief system, any kind of spiritual belief system is all about. On this planet right now, we have a lot of different belief systems that are running parallel to each other. And why is that? Because every human being needs something to believe in. We want to know that this is not the end. We want to know that we're here for a reason. We want to know that we have a purpose in being alive. We want to know that this is not just the reality that we're based on, not just this physical realm, and we just come in and we do a little bit of work and we die and that's it. And it just seems like such a waste of effort and time and energy for the universe to put us on this planet, for life to be on this planet, for Earth to be based or placed exactly where it is in order to be or in order to have life. All of these different things had to happen for you to be present on this planet right now. So many different circumstances, all these permutations and combinations had to run perfectly accurate in order for you to be present here right now. Why? It can't all just be a random coincidence. And so therefore we create these belief systems in order to explain our reality, our physical reality, and perhaps the reality that's behind the curtain, as I call it. In terms of reincarnation and death, one of the things I believe about death is that there is no need to fear death. Even when friends of mine are talking about, their grandparents dying or their parents dying or things like that, even when I think about my own parents dying, of course there's a twinge of sadness. And I mean, thinking about my siblings dying or my parents dying or people that I love dying, I'm not saying that I'm completely heartless and cruel. I do feel sadness at the thought of them going away, but it's a temporary sadness, and it's also a kind of sadness where there's a lot of joy attached to it as well, because life is all about suffering, right? This is a suffering-filled life, and death is actually a respite from it, but it's not the end of it. And the reason why we're here is not to live forever. It's to gain the learnings that we're supposed to gain, to erase some of the karma that we have inculcated over our lifetimes, to do whatever we're supposed to be doing as our life purpose, and then to pass on and to include all this learning when we are starting off another life. So it's not like we're starting off with a blank slate every single time we have a reincarnation, right? I don't know which life I'm on. According to Hinduism, I've said this before, I think there's 85,000 lives that people live. So that's a huge number. That's a really, really long reincarnation process. I don't know if that's the truth or not. I don't think there's a specific number, in my own opinion. There can't be, because some people learn faster, some people learn slower. There are different rates at which people are accumulating knowledge. There's different things happening in the environment that help us learn faster or slower. Perhaps in the Renaissance period, there was a lot of growth and a lot of learning. Perhaps in the Depression period, there was less. So, there's so many different things going on. So I don't think that there's a specific number of lives that we lead. I think it's just the number of lives that we need, our soul needs, in order to gain that learning that it's here to learn, to erase that karma that it's here to erase, and do all that stuff that it's here to do. Once it does that, once the number of lives, it doesn't matter, once it's done, it's done. And so then the soul is done with those reincarnations, and then it goes off. Either it comes back again to help, other souls, or it stays up in the atmosphere or wherever it is, the ether, and helps the other spirits in whatever they're doing, right? Or is in that superior realm where it's part of the collective consciousness, and it's sending down messages to people on the ground, becoming a muse for people who are writers, helping people as guardian angels. There's so many roles that a spirit that is done with reincarnation can take on. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background that we're not even aware of, right? So in all of that, the reason I wanted to do this video is because I feel like people fear death. The people who fear death on this planet are the people who don't believe in reincarnation, who don't believe that there's anything after this life. If you have that belief system, and maybe that's one of the reasons I believe in reincarnation, is sort of so that I don't get scared about death, right? Which is an interesting paradox. So I love reincarnation for that reason, because it kind of shows me or makes me believe that there is so much more to this life than just the 9-to-5 job that I do, the 65 years that I live, or 70 years, whatever it might be. And that's it. That's it. You think of yourself as just a physical human being, the physicalism of it, and that's it, the materialism of it, and you're done. It just seems like such a waste of time, effort for the universe to put you here just so you could do these things, such mundane, random things. And so for me, reincarnation kind of erases that fear of death, because I know, not only do I know that I've been here many times before, because I've learned so much and I know so much more than I did when I was first born, I guess, when I had my first life. And I know that there's so much more to learn, and there's so many more lives that I'm going to lead in the future. There's so much more coming. And so why would I be afraid of losing this one specific minute life when I have hundreds or thousands of other lives that I'm going to be leading, hundreds of thousands of other moments that I'm going to have where I'm going to learn so much more about myself and about the world that I live in? How can I really be afraid of it? It does not make any sense. And therefore reincarnation, I think reincarnation is a way of fending off your fear of death. Now, I'm not saying that you should just believe in reincarnation just as a default. I think that you should research it. Go look at the near-death experiences that people have had. Go look at the past life experiences that children have had. There's so many records, thousands of records of children who've been talked about their past lives, who in detail give detail about their past lives of people that they were with, the way that they died, etc. And you think to yourself, this just can't be a coincidence. There can't be thousands of children who are lying about their past life or are on some kind of chemical disturbance. There can't be hundreds of thousands of people who've gone through near-death experiences and are kind of giving the same kind of explanation for what happens after death and what happens to your spirit once it passes on or almost passes on. And it just seems like way too much of a coincidence for all of these people to be making up all of these lies to spread into the world, right? It just seems like way too big of a conspiracy theory. Now, it might be true, it might not be true, but for me, I believe that it is one of the explanations for why we have been put on this planet. It really makes so much sense to me in my head. It jives with everything that I know. It fits in perfectly. It's that puzzle piece that fits in perfectly and makes everything else make sense. Why am I here? Well, that's because you're here to learn. You're here to grow your knowledge base, and you're here to, erase your past karma from all the other lives you've had. If you think of yourself as just having one isolated life, it doesn't make any sense anymore. For me, if I just think that this is it, this is my life, this is the only life I'm going to lead as Boom Shikha, that's it, and I'm going to die, and there's going to be nothing left behind, nothing makes sense to me if I think of it that way. All of the stuff that I know about consciousness, about the peeking behind the curtain, about awakening, about the collective consciousness, about everything related to spirituality that is in my database right now, nothing will fit if I just think of this as one isolated life that I lead. But if I think of it as reincarnation and it being one life among many that I'm going to lead, everything all of a sudden falls into place perfectly, right? And so that's why I really truly believe in reincarnation as one of those puzzle pieces that is important for you to learn about, so you can kind of figure out, why are you here? It's not just to pay bills and die, but there's a deeper purpose to all of this. And I don't know what your purpose is necessarily, but all of our purpose as a human being is to learn and grow, right? To grow our soul and spirit, to grow that database, to learn more about what we're here to do, to learn more about the universe. And that's the essence of it, right? Again, I hope this makes sense to you guys. It's a controversial topic for sure, because if you're a Christian or a born-again Christian or any other religion where the reincarnation is not a part of your psychology or of your theology, then you're gonna think, she is absolutely insane. And that's fine. Everyone has to have their own belief system in order to live in this world. Whatever system works for you works for you. This system works for me, and therefore I believe in it. If you have any specific questions about this video or any other video topics that I've done, please let me know in the comments below. Or you can message me. All my contact information is in the description below. The best way to get hold of me is email, but I only reply to email once or twice a week, so it will take me a little bit of time to get back to you. I don't like spending way too much time replying to stuff. I want to do more and more videos and research rather than spending all my time replying to emails and comments, right? Again, thank you so much, and I shall see you guys the next time around. Bye for now.